entire area, the whole footprint of the plaza and whatever it covers. There wasn't, operations would like that, but we aren't proposing. What we're doing is looking at, the very basic size. We have that there, the lobby area is about the same amount of size. People haven't seemed to complain of Vineyard Haven about that during those circumstances. Although Vineyard Haven is a very different animal operationally because a lot of people just show up from the island. They're just coming at most 20 miles away. They're showing up, they know the boat schedule, and they're there, and they get right in line, and they go on. And we're told you get a lot of people coming from 60 miles away, 50 miles away, 100 miles away, showing up. Their times of arrival ways on the boat all different because some people are early. And so you need more of a waiting area than you do on the island. We find that true also in Hyannis versus Nantucket. So the Vineyard Haven terminal lobby was 1800 or something. This is around 1950, revised. We brought it down to 1900, and we can get into the revision one that our architects have worked on. We aren't finished with it, but they're trying very hard. And that is, and our terminal manager would love more.
Let me just say this about the design standard. We did not design for 1% occurrence at all, because you couldn't do that. It'd be impossible to do that for the operation that we have on the weekends. So what works is, it's a compromise between how many bathrooms do we have, it's public space, how much public space, and how many bathrooms do we need. And that's governed the lobby design. So in fact, I think we have more bathrooms than we are required to, simply because we have so many outside people using them. But the 300 is, you can correlate it to pretty closely to the number of bathrooms we have. That's it.
Sure. So going through the public, I mean, I don't know what you want to, why don't we use the comparison with the old Woods Hole Terminal building? That's easier than,
was the waiting room in the old building at capacity very often? So people were overflowing under the awning, under the overhang. Yeah.
Yeah, this wasn't that.
And in the off season, we could have 5 or 6 tour buses on a boat, and that's 300 plus people right there all at once.
Oh,
In
yeah.
October, you get 40, 50 in the rain. I mean, it's.
So,
I'm sorry, is the problem in the summer or is it in the off season?
Yes.
all the time.
Well, not in the winter when
Oh,
there's no traffic.
In the fall. In the fall, we have a lot of toilets. That's when a lot of
Well,
toilets.
you could have a day now that has bad weather. We're not running for 2 trips or 3 trips, and someone just took the bus down. Where do they go?
Hopefully some of the merchants in Woods Hole, the restaurants, well, that's depending
For-
on the time.
That's what the business community
Right.
likes.
But in the winter, if we cancel trips, then you have people down there waiting. You got the lobbies filled. I mean, this is from personal experience, but I mean.
Thanksgiving, we had the customers, not only the customers, now you have the bags too. So I have a bag with me. Where does my bag go? Because I'm not sure what the next.
Yeah, a lot of luggage.
Yeah.
Food. So, if you look at the old Woods Hole terminal with the revised one, and that's, that maybe, that's close to what we think people would want, but, things are still open. Vestibules and entryways, that's to get, to the restrooms, things like that. Ultimately, it's not, the old Woods Hole had none at all. You just walk right into the lobby. And this one has a little bit more. Food concession vending, we're reducing it from 340 to 235. We're taking out the food concession, but we feel for our customers we need vending machines. We do, I mean, we just, it's part of the customer service we have to provide. If someone is there, they don't have time to go into Woods Hole Village to get something, they need some minimal food.
You have concessions on the boat too.
We do, but the lines on the boat are long too. I mean, it's just, you can't put, you don't have enough space anywhere. But it's, and sometimes it's people who are getting off or the boat and waiting for the bus.
You've received feedback, not enough vending machines, or is this just your
We're changing the food concession to vending, so we're reducing, I mean, we're doing vending, a reduced amount of space for vending instead of having.
I mean, zero concession, just vending machines?
Correct.
That's good, that's still a lot of space. I'm just looking at that compared to the concession stand that was in the old terminal. Seemed pretty good size.
Right.
It's even bigger.
Public restrooms, we've actually, when they did the revised ones, they increased the amount because, I'm giving you the information, I mean, this is compared to all of our terminals. But Woods Hole Terminal is unique in that it is the only one that serves as a restroom for not only our own customers, but also the village. We've all been, I think we can all agree that we were in at least Pie in the Sky or somewhere else, and someone asks about a restroom, and they say, it's down at the steamship. They all do.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all do, and then also all the bicyclists using the bicycle path use ours. The other, Vineyard Haven actually has off-site restrooms. Oak Bluffs has off-site restrooms. Nantucket is too far away. Hyannis, no one from the town comes because we aren't located there. And also, Woods Hole is unique in that we have a lot more customers there waiting for the boat as opposed to the other terminals.
Especially the trolley traffic, too. A lot of people just take the trolley to come to Woods Hole.
And so we need restrooms. If you look at and actually the temporary Woods Hole terminal, we took that opportunity because of its modular design, it was able to actually give us more restroom stalls than the old Woods Hole terminal. I mean, and the old Woods Hole terminal was always a problem, and cleaning them is a problem. So we were able to increase the number of restrooms we have at the temporary one. In particular, the number of women's toilets and labs, and although not the men's. The revised one will have the same number as the temporary one, and we think, checking with the terminal people, we think that's adequate, but you couldn't do with less. And this is a public service thing. This is really what we need. And although in fairness, although the revised one increases the number of public men's urinals, we probably can do away with some of those if necessary. Because the temporary Woods Hole terminal public restrooms, we're told, are working fine. There are lines going out the door at any given time, but it's a supply and demand, but people are there, and there will be lines going out the door in the future too, but hopefully there'll be more enclosed waiting area. So we think we're pretty much on target for the amount of space for the public restrooms. Because of the public process, we're looking at ways possibly to reduce the number of staff restrooms, which we can talk about later. Bill doesn't know because that just took place on Friday with whatever, but if we can consolidate on one floor or the other, the employees' locker rooms and the restrooms, that might be able to be done. We don't know yet, but we are at least trying to do that. But this has been the situation, and so if you go back to the revised Woods Hole,
I'm sorry, this is revised as of Friday, or?
No, revised, we have a modified design, it's still on that table over there. That we're gonna show you. The architects have tried to take into consideration the comments at the public meeting, using the same architectural design. They've been able to, they believe, lower the height of the building by 5 feet by increasing the amount of dormers. And also are taking out the food concession has allowed them to reconfigure some of the space inside. So that's one of the things that, you know, we're in the process of doing that. I don't see any reason not to show it as we consider it, but it's still being worked on. So those are, you know, that's the public service areas. We think, operationally, we'll say, we'd always love to have them bigger, but we've tried to make them as small as we think we responsibly can. For the ticket selling customer service areas, it's actually, the revised, you know, 280, it's 5 stations, and you have a cash only area. We will be handling cash no matter what, no matter how many people buy online, they have to have that, and ultimately that's not a large amount of space in the terminal itself. I mean, that's where we go back to technology. Yes, technology may reduce that, but on a relative basis, the amount of space in the terminal for that specific function of dealing face-to-face with customers is really quite low.
And that's still 5 windows?
That's 5 windows. The employees' restrooms, this is where we have employees' restrooms on both the first and second floor. We're looking at whether we can, and that's one of the things for discussion with the view stuff. If the question is, do you try to put the building as much as possible on 1 story? If you can see the water over the roof, which I don't think you can, or if you can't see the water anyway, you go higher and make the building shorter. If you make the building shorter, you know, one way to do that, we now have, the current design has the employees' locker rooms on the first floor. That is a great convenience for the employees to be able to walk in, go into the locker rooms. But it requires restrooms both on the first floor and the second floor as we have it. If they go to the second floor for their locker rooms, with their break room, I hope you agree that employees deserve the break room, because otherwise, I mean, these are our employees, they aren't us, you know, we believe our employees deserve a break room. But if you put those together on the same floor, and if you don't want to put it on the first floor because you would extend the footprint of the building, put them on the second floor, you may be able to reduce the number of persons. But I haven't even talked about that with Bill, so I apologize to him. The things he learns in public.
We're considering.
We're considering. But I did talk about it with Mark, I did talk about it with the terminal manager, just to see if there are any institutional problems. We think our employees need a locker room. They work out in the weather. They work under horrible conditions all year long. They need to have a locker room. That is one instance where we're learning from experience with all of the other terminals. We don't have locker rooms in the other terminals, and it has proven to be a problem. You have lockers down the hallway, but the hallways are now too narrow. You have potential safety issues. You have it's not a good work environment for the employees to be sitting there in the hallway changing while people are coming by them. We think they should have a locker room, and we try to make it adequate. We have a lot more employees in Woods Hole than we have at Vineyard Haven or Oak Bluffs or any of the other terminals. That drives the need for the space, for the number of lockers we need, and the number of any amount of square footage we need. Other than that, that's all there is. At the moment, in the temporary terminal building, we don't have any lockers for the dock workers. They're still in the freight ship, which is where they have been. That's a whole other discussion, I know. About what can we put into the new equipment storage building in that location and take it away from the terminal building. We have to have that discussion, but at the moment they're all in the terminal building because that's the only one that, as currently designed, is going to have any heat plumbing. The other one is truly an equipment
Garage.
storage shed.
But the employees are having a locker room there now, so. is
No,
it
no,
there
the
now?
freight shed is there now, but the
Uh-huh.
new equipment storage building, it would be extraordinarily complicated and expensive to create a building in that area with all of the additional elements.
Plumbing, heating.
Plumbing, heating, code requirements, so fire suppression. You know, that was the plan, and to put it all here. If you look at the supervisory employee areas, all we have is a terminal manager's office and a terminal agent's office. These are people who work there. You have a customer who gets upset with a ticket seller or a dock worker, they have to have a place to go in their office, and they have to do their job that way. You can't have the terminal manager be up here in Falmouth. He has to be with the employees. I think there was some misperception that we're gonna be located down in Woods Hole, or some of our managers. The only offices down there for managers are the terminal managers and the terminal agents. That's it, and they should be down there.
I'm sorry, what is their function? So receiving disgruntled customers, is that their main function?
No.
What-
Terminal manager, Kevin Smith,
Uh-huh.
now Rob Towns.
Yeah, they operate the terminal,
They
and
operate
one
the
of the
terminal.
things being is that on occasion they'll be needing to address customers, and they need some privacy in that regard, whether it's a, complaint against an employee, or whether it's a special circumstance that they need to explain to the agent terminal manager, so.
You also have
They work there.
administrative duties they have to do, you have compliance they have to do with certain features, so they need an office, just like every other business in the world. Everyone, you don't think that's realistic.
So for Rob Towns, his new one has 155 square feet, and we actually went over that with him. And we said that's about the size of, and he said, his office can be smaller. He's sort of like Kevin Smith. Yeah, I'll make it work. But again, that's not a significant portion of the whole building. He did, maybe it's, he did say the terminal agent's office needed to be 250 square feet because there are 3 of them, and they each have to have a desk. But those things are dictated more by the design layout, I think, than the actual specific square footage amount. Like what fits within the design layout of the interior. We have it's been called a training room, it's been called a multi-purpose room. It's under the revised design, it comes down a little bit less. That would be the only space in that building that can be used for a number of different purposes whenever there's a potential incident, if the Coast Guard has to be there, if there's something going on, if there's meeting with the town about sewer or anything like that, if people from the vineyard come over and meet, if we have not only the Coast Guard, but environmental people coming in, if we have to talk with employees about spill response training that work at the terminal. We do our CPR training up here now. We do the training that we can do off-site here. But there will be some needs to have some type of training on-site. There will needs to have other meetings on site. If we have, for example, when we have the St. Patrick's Night event, to have these 2 people and how many other people come down there, and to be able to go in and occupy and take care of things. We need to have a space, and it can't be in the lobby with, you have potentially 100 or 1,000 passengers waiting. You have to have that additional space for those types of events. And it's not, on a grand scale of things, it's not a large space.
Looks like that was 440, it's now dropped to 385.
I mean,
We've done ergonomic training in between the boats. We actually had someone do the training, then if the boat comes in, we do our core function, we come back in, it's also observations. I saw you grabbing the box and correctly, stuff like that. So we were able to use it